Hi, my name's Tegan and I'm a gemmologist working in the antique jewellery industry, and I wanted to make this series to give you a little behind the scenes look at somebody who gets to study historical jewels for a living. For this specific video, I wanted to focus on gemmology and what it's like to study it. If you're watching this video, maybe you're in the jewellery industry and thinking about studying gemmology, or maybe you're just curious as to what it is. I'm making this video because when I was new to the industry, I didn't know what gemmology was and I didn't know anyone that had studied it. So in this video, I'm taking a little deep dive into what gemmology is, what the course is like, and what I do now as a gemmologist. So what is gemmology? Gemmology is the study of gemstones, and it's the foundational knowledge on how to identify gemstones, how to recommend them to clients, and also to understand how to value gemstones. A gemstone is classified by three overarching characteristics, which include beauty, durability, and rarity. And these are not only what make a gemstone, but also what determines a gemstone's value. Gemmology, in the scheme of things, is a relatively new science. I guess to relate it to a traditional science course, the closest one would be either geology or a degree in the earth sciences. I guess the best way to describe gemmology for me is a blend of chemistry, geology, and then industry knowledge. And when I say industry knowledge, I'm referring to specific considerations for bench jewelers, gem cutters, sales associates, or jewelry valuers. The course aims to cover pretty much any type of gemstone that you would come across in jewelry, of which there are hundreds. And this also includes natural gemstones, synthetic gemstones, and also treatments that they may have undergone. So now I can tell you a little bit more about the specific course that I did. I studied my diploma in Australia, so I studied under the Gemmological Association of Australia. Most countries will have their own gemmological association, so depending on which country you're based in, you may need to research which one is the best for you. The most well-known gemmological association is the GIA, which is the Gemmological Association of America, and they have global campuses, but the closest one to me is in Hong Kong, so it's still too far for me to actually study at. I have done some online study with the GIA. I was their distance education scholarship recipient for 2020, and so I was able to complete my coloured stone essentials and then eventually my coloured stone certificates with them. I was able to complete these certificates online, and I definitely recommend them if you're not able to either attend a campus or if you're just looking at an introduction to gemmology before sort of committing to the full diploma. I also completed the Introduction to Gemmology through the GAA. This was a part of staff training, and it took us one session per week over 10 weeks. I think there are other ways that you can study it though, so look into it if that doesn't suit your schedule. But I do think this was also a fantastic introduction to the topic and something I'd recommend doing before signing up to the full diploma. So when I studied the diploma, I did it full time and it took me 2 years. I did 2 weekly sessions that were in person. One was a theory lecture and the other was a practical laboratory session. The laboratory sessions are hands-on practical sessions where you learn how to use the equipment and you go through the process of identifying natural and synthetic stones and also detecting any potential treatments that they have gone under. Because I'd done the introductory courses, I was familiar with the basic concepts, but being able to do the hands-on lab sessions really accelerated my learning. It definitely made me understand the concepts more and being able to put them into practical use. So as much as I recommend doing the introductory courses, I think that being able to do the hands-on lab sessions is really essential for a full understanding of the topic. If you are wanting to complete the diploma in the 2-year time, I would just recommend sort of being realistic with your schedule. So whether that means taking on less at work or maybe dropping down to part-time work if that's possible for you. It was definitely stressful, particularly around assessments. I did it whilst working full-time, but I still had to make some sacrifices. So most of our family live away, so for 2 years I wasn't able to travel and definitely missed some milestones in that time, but it just wasn't possible to basically do everything that I would regularly do in a year and also complete the course. So what do I do now as a gemmologist? So as I mentioned at the start of the video, I work in antique jewellery. And so a big part of my job, but also probably my favourite part of my job, is being able to catalogue new stock when it comes in. So when we do a larger buy, we need to be able to identify all of the items and know what everything is and then add them into our inventory. So at the store that I work in, we have a basic gemmological setup including a refractometer, a polariscope, spectroscope, dichroscope, a UV light box, and a microscope. So we have sort of a basic setup that allows us to test the gemstones in person. If we do require further testing or sort of a confirmation from further testing in a lab, then we can send it to a local gemmological lab as well. We tend to do this when we want further certification regarding a specific element of the stone. So for example, origin. So we've had a lot of Ceylonese sapphires from the late Victorian era come in, and we're just wanting that extra paperwork confirming that they are of Ceylonese origin, and that also a lot of them are unheat treated because of the age. So it's just good to have that extra paperwork, having that lab certificate as well as evaluation certificates that we can provide. So the other area of my work that gemmology has definitely helped me in is my work as a writer. I write for various industry publications, and definitely having that knowledge of gemmology has informed my writing. I was also able to work on a series covering influential gemmologists for the GAA, and working on that definitely made me really appreciative of the scientists that have put so much time and effort into developing gemmology as a specific area of study. There is a wrap-up of the series in Jewellery magazine, and I'll pop the link in the bio if you're interested to read it. So this is how my gemmology qualification has helped me in my career. I pretty much use it in some capacity every day at work. But just to give you some other career pathways with regards to studying gemmology, I think it's definitely essential if you're wanting to be a gemstone cutter or setter, and also if you're cataloguing jewels, whether that's through a store or through an auction house. And then finally, if you're looking to become a jewellery valuer. I actually think in Australia it is a prerequisite to the valuer course, so it's definitely essential study for that. I also think that gemmology would be a huge advantage for a sales associate role. I'm not sure that it's essential. I think you can get a lot of great information from the certificates, and that might be enough in that role. But if you do have it, it's certainly going to be a big advantage. If you have any specific questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments. And if you're wanting to follow for more gemmology or antique jewellery related content, then please be sure to subscribe to my channel. Thank you.